At night, whisper into ceilings full of fear, begging someone in the silence to prove that he was really there. I believed because they told me to. I prayed because I was afraid that if I stopped reciting promises, the whole sky would fall away. The answers never came, and the silence got too loud, and the faith they gave me became a weight I couldn't hold. I lost the God I used to pray to. Somewhere between the tears and doubt, I screamed into an empty church, trying to let the anger out. They said he never leaves you, but I couldn't feel him anymore. All the prayers I memorized turned to ashes on the floor. How am I without the faith that taught me how to breathe? I watched my grandmother dying, with the Bible clutched against her chest, and I prayed harder than I ever prayed, but the heavens didn't answer the request. I saw children swallowed by war, while men spoke of holy plans, and something inside me shattered that I'll never understand. Maybe I didn't lose God, maybe I lost the version they sold, the one with rules and punishments, the one who watched but stayed cold. Maybe what I'm finding now, in the wreckage of my belief, is something quieter and truer than the church ever taught me. Maybe holy isn't a building, maybe it's just being alive and learning how to love without needing a sky. I lost the God I used to pray to, but I found something else inside, a quieter kind of sacred that doesn't need to be defined. I stopped asking for miracles and started becoming one. Every breath I take with meaning is a piece of my finally sight. I'm not broken from the loss, I'm baptized by the truth. The divine I was searching for was always inside of you. Kept it all locked behind my teeth, swallow the fire so no one could could see. Smile through the wreckage, played it fine, while everything inside was dying at a time. But there's only so much a chest can hold before the silence turns to something cold. I felt the walls, I felt them break. This is everything I never got to say. This is the weight I carried alone. Every scar, every night, every word left unspoken. This is the voice I buried too long. I hit the ground, but something kept me from falling. I've been through rooms I don't talk about, loved people who left me hollowed out. Watched myself become someone I didn't know, chasing a version of me I had to let go. But there's only so much a soul can take before it either breaks or learns to break free. I felt the bottom, I felt it real, and something pulled me back that I still can't explain. This is the way I carried alone. Every scar, every night, every word left unspoken. This is the voice I buried too long. I hit the ground, but something kept me from falling. I don't know what held me there when I had nothing left to give. Some force I couldn't see, your name just wouldn't let me stop, wouldn't let me quit. And I don't say this lightly, I don't know where I'd be if that light hadn't found me in the darkest part of me. This was the weight I carried alone. Every scar, every night, now I wear them different. This is the voice that refused to be gone. I hit the ground, and something brought me back from it. I learned to read a room before I learned to read a book. Counting footsteps in the hallway, knowing which door slam and run, which silence meant the storm was coming. I was 8 years old, playing therapist to the people who were supposed to raise me, holding my mother's tears in my pockets like coins I couldn't spend. They called me mature for my age, but mature was just survival in disguise. I never had a childhood, I had a job I never asked to apply for. We're the glass children, race that never shared.
clench when somebody raises their hand to point. My body remembers what my mind tried to forget. Every cell still bracing for the next disappointment.
I love people too hard and not at all.
I apologize for taking up space.
I built a fortress out of being useful,
hoping that one day someone would stay.
but I'm not hate anymore. I don't have to earn my place at the table.
I don't have to fix the broken to be loved.
I don't have to disappear to be safe.
The little version of me is still in there, holding his breath in the closet. And I'm finally old enough
So open the door
and tell him it's over.
We were the glass children.
But we're not glass anymore.
We became the parents.
We never had before.
To the king still trembling.
Inside our own chest,
We give them the love.
we differed from the rest.
We were never weak.
We were always surviving.
Now we're not just healing.
We're finally living.
I had something good in my hands, and I crushed it on purpose. Watched the pieces fall in slow motion, like I needed to feel the loss. She loved me when I was empty. He believed in me when I was lost. But I taught my own hands to be weapons, and now everything I hold turns to dust. 'Cause the second something feels safe, my fingers start to shake. I'd rather end it on my terms than wait for the heart to break. I'm the one who lights the match. I'm the fire and the ashes. Everything I've ever loved, I turn it into wreckage. Don't call me a victim. I pulled the trigger myself. I'm the monster in my story, the ghost I can't outrun. These are the hands that burn what they touch. I push away before they leave me. I lie before they can find the truth. I break the mirror so I don't see the version of me that I refuse. Therapy taught me the word for it, but the word didn't heal a thing. I still wake up at 4 a.m. apologizing to ghosts who can't hear me sing. Maybe the cure isn't kindness. Maybe it's looking myself in the eye, saying I see you, I know what you did, and I'm not gonna let you hide. Maybe forgiveness ain't soft. Maybe it's the hardest fight I fought. 'Cause the hardest person to face is the one staring back at the glass. I'm the one who lit the match, but I'm also the one who stayed to rebuild from my own ashes, with the same hands that betrayed. talk to people who can't hear me in a language only ghosts understand. I send letters into the ocean with no return address on the sand. There's a conversation inside me that never finds another shore. Just me echoing in chambers that nobody opens the door. I scream into my pillow at 3 in the morning light, hoping someone in the universe will hear me through the night. But the only thing that answers is the ringing in my ears, the sound of my own loneliness reflecting back my fears. I've got so much to say, but nobody to say it to. I've got a flood inside my chest and no river to push it through. I've been carrying these words like stones inside my throat, drowning in expression with no one to keep me afloat. I'm speaking to the silence, hoping it will speak back, telling my story to the walls like they're taking notes in black. Everybody's too busy to hear what I can't say out loud. I'm the loudest kind of quiet in the middle of a crowd. I'm reaching out for something that keeps pulling itself away, screaming into empty rooms with nothing left to say. I'm speaking to the silence, 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 silence. And the silence won't let me in. I tried to tell my brother, but his eyes were on his phone. I tried to call my father, but his voice felt like a stone. I tried to find a therapist who could hold the weight I bring, but 15 minutes isn't long enough to unpack everything. I tried to write it in a poem, I tried to bleed it in a song, but the truth keeps slipping through my hands like water moving on. The people closest to me don't even know my middle name, and I don't know if I'm the problem or the world we built to blame. Maybe everybody's drowning in the same private sea. Maybe we're all just speaking to a silence that won't see. Maybe the loneliness inside me is the loneliest thing of all, the kind you can't admit you have while standing in a crowded hall. I'm speaking to the silence, and the silence is my home. I built a life of being seen while being truly alone. I learned to smile through the static, learned to laugh above the noise, while inside I'm still that kid without a voice. Everybody's talking, but nobody's being heard. We're a generation screaming into a world gone blind. I'm speaking to the silence, and I wonder if you are too. Maybe the silence isn't empty, maybe it's full of all of us, speaking from our separate corners, hoping someone makes the trust. Maybe the bravest thing I can do is stop pretending I don't ache, stop performing that I'm fine for everybody else's sake. Maybe somewhere in the static between my voice and yours, there's a frequency of honest we've been too scared to explore. Maybe if I break my silence, yours will break in mine. Maybe we were never alone, we were just out of time. I'm done speaking to the silence. I'm gonna say it out loud, every secret I've been hiding from the faces in the crowd. I'd rather be rejected for the truth than accepted for a lie. size is too tight. I laugh at jokes I never heard, just to keep the room feeling right. They see the version I rehearse, the one that doesn't bleed. They never ask what's underneath, and I'm too tired to speak. 'Cause every mirror tells the truth, and every truth feels like a blade. I built this summer out of lies. Now I'm suffocating in what I made. I'm wearing a mask made of glass. Everyone looks but nobody sees. Smiling so hard that it hurts while I'm breaking underneath. Oh, I can't keep pretending I'm fine when I'm drowning in plain sight. Somebody tell me it's okay to stop performing tonight. I answer good to how you doing while my hands are shaking cold. I post the photos, fake the captions while my soul gets bought and sold. The strongest one is always tired, the brave one always scared, the funny one cries in the bathroom when nobody is there. Maybe being seen is scarier than being alone. Maybe the loudest cry for help is the silence I've shown. But I can't carry this weight for one more empty day. The glass is cracking on my face, and I'm letting it break. I'm tearing the mask off my skin, letting the world see what's real. Every scar, every shadow, everything I try to heal. I'd rather be broken and honest than perfect and dead inside. The first breath after the shatter is the first time I feel alive. I used to fold my hands at night, whisper into ceilings full of fear, begging someone in the silence to prove that he was really there. I believed because they told me to. I prayed because I was afraid that if I stopped reciting promises, the whole sky would fall away. But the answers never came, and the silence got too loud, and the faith they gave me became a weight I couldn't hold. I lost the God I used to pray watched my grandmother dying, with the Bible clutched against her chest. And I prayed harder than I ever prayed, but the heavens didn't answer the request. I saw children swallowed by war, while men spoke of holy plans. And something inside me shattered that I'll never understand. Maybe I didn't lose God, maybe I lost the version they sold, the one with rules and punishments, the one who watched but stayed cold. Maybe what I'm finding now, in the wreckage of my belief, is something quieter and truer than the church ever taught me. Maybe holy isn't a building, maybe it's just being alive and learning how to love without needing a sky. I lost the God I used to pray to, but I found something else inside, a quieter kind of sacred that doesn't need to be defined. I stopped asking for miracles and started becoming one. Every breath I take with meaning is a piece of my finally signed. I'm not broken from the loss, I'm baptized by the truth. The divine I was searching for was always inside of you. I stood there on the edge one night, the water black and white, the wind was speaking my name like you wanted me inside. My phone was full of messages I didn't have the strength to read. My pockets full of reasons that nobody could see. And I asked the sky a question that I couldn't ask out loud. Is anyone still listening above the broken crowd? I came closer than I've ever admitted to letting the darkness win. I stared into the nothing, and the nothing stared back in. But something in my chest, a voice I didn't recognize, whispered one more breath, whispered open your eyes. I don't know who saved me on the bridge I almost crossed, but I'm here because of something I refuse to lose. I never told a soul about it, I just walked home in the rain, pretended the next morning that I wasn't still in pain. to hitting the wall. Maybe staying alive is the loudest scream of all. Maybe my breathing is a protest against everything that tried to make me smile. I crossed a different gates that night, one that led me back to me. I chose the harder route, the one they never teach for free. Every day I'm still here, is a middle finger to the fall. I'm not healed, I'm not whole, but I'm still standing tall. The bridge I almost crossed taught me what it meant to choose, and I choose to stay, I choose to live, I choose to win. Your coffee mug is still on the counter, right where you left it that morning. I haven't moved it in 7 months, like maybe you're coming back if I keep things in order. The house remembers your footsteps, the walls still know your name. I sleep on the side that was yours just to feel close to the ghost of you again. They told me time would soften it, that grief becomes a quieter friend. But every quiet moment screams the loudest, and I'm still talking to you in my head. I'm having conversations with an empty chair,
Telling you about my day like you're still there.
laughing at jokes that only we knew.
Crying at songs that remind me of you.
They say let go, they say move on.
But how do you bury someone
Who still lives in every room?
How do I say goodbye?
To echoes of you. I pick up the phone to call you, then remember halfway through the number still works, but you won't answer. The world just kept on spinning without you. I wear your jacket on cold nights, I read your old messages like prayers. I argue with God in the parking lot, asking why the good ones get taken first. Maybe loving someone forever means carrying their weight without breaking. Maybe the tears aren't a wound anymore, they're the proof that you matter. You taught me how to live, now you're teaching me how to grieve. Every memory is the love letter that I'll keep writing until I see you again. but now I'm learning to listen back. Hearing your voice in the wind,
Seeing your eyes in the morning light.
you're not gone, you're just everywhere now.
In the coffee I drink, in the songs I sing, in every beat of the heart.
You help build inside of me.
I carry you forward.
I'll carry you home. I got tired of hiding bruises that nobody could see. Tired of saying I'm okay with blood in my damn teeth. Every problem stacked higher, every loss hit harder. I felt myself fading out, piece by piece. Then the silence turned violent, and my chest caved in. I couldn't lock it up anymore. God, I can't surviving like this. I screamed
Like I was dying inside, like the pain was tearing through my skin.
every sacred, every breakdown.
Finally hit all at once.
I wanted out, wanted the noise to end,
But something stronger than my fear
wouldn't let me give in. I trusted people that broke me, loved people that disappeared.
Spent too much time blaming myself for wounds they left behind.
Some nights got real dark,
Too dark to explain. I remember staring at nothing.
feeling lower than the floor beneath me, but somehow, right at the end of it, a light cut through my head, like somebody pulled me back before I had